Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video, right after the first one in the same outfit. It's still Christmas Eve. So I wanted to kind of do my favorites of all time. Just maybe so you kind of get to know me and things I've loved for many years, not just this year. I'm going to do a video on the stuff that I have found this year that I really like, but these are things that I've loved for the last like at least 3 years, some like 10 years. Okay, so I kind of always gravitate towards neutrals with a little bit of shimmer in them, and I change eyeshadows a lot. I have lots of palettes, new, old, whatever. I kind of use everything, so there hasn't been really staples, but there's two things that I've definitely always used on my lids, and one of them is the chocolate bronze Eyes to Mesmerize shadow by Charlotte Tilbury. It's like this chocolatey purple color, so it's kind of neutral and cool. It's easy for me to kind of throw on with like any sort of eye look. So it's kind of shimmery. It's really pretty. It's easy. It blends super well. And if I'm dressing up, I can use it as my base to add to it, or I can wear it by itself and still look put together, which is really nice and easy, especially just going to work. You want to just throw something on. My next eyelid product is the Charlotte Tilbury Caviar Stick Eye Color in Khaki. This I can't live without. It's just perfect. It's kind of like that Charlotte Tilbury color, except for it's like that same kind of, it's a neutral shimmer, but that goes more purple. This goes more like green, which this is like my favorite color to wear. They're so easy to use. They last a really long time. I think this is my second one ever, and I've used them for like 10 years maybe. Probably should have had more than 2, but it's worked. This is probably my biggest go-to. I can bring it with me when I go out of town, knowing that I'll be happy with it if that's the only eye color I have with me. It's truly amazing, and she makes a ton of colors, which I have some, but this color is really special. I love this one. So now for eyeliners, I have one liquid eyeliner and I have 2 pencil ones. The pencil ones are actually both Charlotte Tilbury. I didn't realize how much I like Charlotte Tilbury until I was picking things out for this video. I don't really ever do like a harsh line across my lids. I usually do something dark and then kind of smoke it out. And if I use a felt tip liner or liquid, I usually put something on top of that to smoke that out as well. So an easy, beautiful brown is the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Khol liners. This one is called Barbarella Brown. It's super easy to use, not too dark, but dark enough. It's just a good brown. And then there's this special one, which I added it in because I'll add this like last minute to just kind of zhuzh up my eye look. And it's the Walk of No Shame eyeliner. So it's kind of like a reddish color. So especially people who have green or blue eyes, it really pops against it. And it just kind of changes your eye look, gives it a little bit more dimension. Sometimes I'll like put it on my inner corner, or I'll put a little bit under here. And already you can see like how much bluer that looks. And a little bit more finished actually. Maybe I should add it to both sides. Super easy, smoked out. Yeah, just kind of amps up the look. I did this at my wedding, and you can tell in my pictures that my eyes look really blue, bluer than normal. So I don't think I've been using this for 3 years. I think it's been like a year and a half, but this is the One Size Point Made Bodacious Black Liner. This is amazing. I've tried so many liquid liners like every other person who uses makeup, And this is like the only one that doesn't crack, doesn't smudge, doesn't look weird. And I usually don't line the top of my lashes with this. I tight line. So I go right up in this little meat right here, and it makes it more, what's the word, like fluid? What is it? Whatever. It just helps kind of tight line that area so my lashes look really thick at the base. And I usually don't wear mascara, or if I do, it's very little, and that helps with not wearing that much. My other huge go-to I do every time I do my makeup is I tight line before I do anything. So I do my skincare, do everything else. I sit down here to put my face on, and I start with tight lining. So the way I tight line is I have a black shadow, which this is Anastasia Beverly Hills Noir, and it's wrecked because I use it every day. So what I do is I start with this, and I do 1 spritz of all-nighter, which this is also, I've been using this forever. This is just the only setting spray you should have. It does everything. It's amazing. I love it. So I spritz 1 of those, and then I add the Inglot Duraline, just 1, that's like a little dropper of that. And I mix it all together, and I have this liner. It's a Morphe M158, or yeah, M158. I have a bunch of these. They're really inexpensive, and they stay pretty nice for a while, and I wash it every time I use it, just in case. And then I mix that all together, make a little paste, brush up, and I go underneath all of that, get it in between each line, and then I do the top, not each line, each lash, and then I clean it up. And that's how I always start my makeup, because it just makes my eyelashes stick out. There's no little, you know, white little areas in between. And I'm a redhead, so I have red lashes. I dye them, but I still want like the base to be as black as possible. So I always start with that. I'll do a video showing that as well, because you're probably like, what is she doing? It works. It's amazing. I did it on my sister and my mom, and they are like, how can I do that myself? It makes your eye look totally different, so much better. And it really does. I don't like to wear makeup without it. So what is next? What is next? Okay, so I'm not a huge foundation person, and I should be, because I do have problem skin. Like, you can kind of see little things here, but I just don't like the weight or the feeling of foundation. And I do have some freckles, so I like them to show through. I just think it looks more natural, and I like it. So there are 2 products that I just have to have in my arsenal. And one is this Neutrogena Healthy Skin Anti-Aging Perfector Fair to Light. It says moisturizing retinol treatment. I don't know. Can't hurt. And then SPF 20. And it's just lightweight, but it covers enough that you feel like evened out. It feels really nice. It has SPF in it, so you're doing something good for your skin no matter what. And then if I want extra coverage, I use concealer in those certain areas, but I like to just start with my base very light, even myself out, and then work from there. I've got this off of Amazon. I've gotten it at Target. It's just amazing. I mean, it has a little retinol in it, and retinol's good. My next thing that I always have to have, I don't use it that often, but I have to have it because it's amazing. I used to work at Bare Minerals like over a decade ago, and that was my first job in makeup, and I absolutely loved it. I really did. But their mineral powder foundation is unlike anything else. And I know people don't like powders, but the original formula, the luminosity of it, the way that it's good for your skin, the way it covers, I can't not have it. I am a fairly light, and I have this is from like that long ago, from like a holiday collection when I worked there. It's lasted me so long, and every time I wear it as like a full base, people are, you know, stopping me, asking, and I'm like, it's a freaking Bare Minerals foundation. And it lasts forever. It doesn't go bad either. It's fabulous. And so what I do usually with it is, since it has the best coverage, like right now I have this little thing right there. I just take a little bit of my finger and I just pat it in. It just has, look at, like the best coverage. And it doesn't feel heavy, cakey, and it's just, I can't tell you how amazing it is. Just get one to have it. Finish your freaking face with it. It's fabulous. So my next product that I really love is another Bare Minerals loose powder, and that is Warmth. It's their bronzer, and if you used it before, you know, it's just so good. It's the perfect bronzing color, and you don't go through it fast because you only need a tiny bit. So I think I just rebought this after like 6 years. Like maybe 6 months ago, I finally needed another one. And it's just, you put a little bit in the cap, take your brush, and just place it where the sun would hit, so it gives you just a little bit of warmth. But I have to have this always because it's the best finishing touch too. Like if you did your makeup and you're like, there's something missing, add a little bit of this and you have, like, you're instantly finished. It's nice. It's just the best bronzer and bronzing color. Another bronzer I want to talk about, which most people know about, is, what is it called? I know what it's called. What is it? Why doesn't it have a name on it? It's like, oh, no, whatever. It's the bronzing cream. Wasn't it like Chanel Soleil de Tan, something of the sort? But Les Beches. And I had to buy a new one finally. I had one for a while and it was nasty because it finally had like a hole here and brush hairs. But it has the funniest little texture. It's kind of like moussey, but solid and then yet creamy. I can't use a ton of it though because I am so fair. It does tend to get a little orange on me. But if I kind of use it as a base over just when I do my foundation and concealer, it does help glow. It does help that bronzer kind of to pop a little bit more. But I always have it. It's, you know, it's beautiful packaging, of course. It's Chanel. Dirty, but beautiful. And yeah, I always have it. Get a big brush for it though. You don't want to like put a small brush compact in one place and have to like buff it out. A big brush is best for this, and good for when you want to bronze your neck and your chest as well. Next, I'm going to move on to cheeks. Again, I have so many products that I have go-tos, but these are things that are staples that I always have to have and that I will always love. And whenever I'm like traveling or don't know what I'm going to wear, I'm grabbing these things. Glossier Cloud Paints. I got this in LA, I want to say like 6 years ago. Too long, but it still works. I still have product in it. The Glossier store is really cool. It used to be super small, but I just went a couple weeks ago when I was in LA and they redid their store and it is so much fun. It's so pretty. They have these huge like sculptures of the cloud paints. Really cool. If you're there, go. It's so much fun. But they're very pigmented, so you don't need a lot. And so they last a really long time. And you just get a little, but this one is kind of like a neutral, which is really nice. So it almost like helps you look tan too. And when you're fair like me, it does kind of brighten up your skin. I have a few other colors too. Let's see. I have a really bright orange, which is, what is this one called? Dawn. This is fun. I just, again, tiny bit is needed. And then Spark, right? Yeah, Spark, which you can see I've hardly used. But yeah, they're just so much fun. They're so pretty. You can mix them too. Like sometimes I'll put, you know, this Dawn on, and then just to like brighten up certain areas, I'll take, oh, I'm sorry. This is actually This is Dusk. I'm sorry, my favorite's Dusk. And then the orange is Dawn. And just even add like a little bit on your higher of your cheeks so you have a little bit of dimension as well. These are really nice and fun. Go to the store. The girls are so nice. Their products are so much fun too. Different. This product as well I always have to have. And it's the Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder. I love it because when everyone was wearing like those bright, crazy highlights, everyone was wearing this, but it wasn't super like metallic. It gives you that glow within. So I think it kind of went under the radar at that time. And now that everyone's kind of like dying down on that, we want more of a dewy glow. This is really the perfect way to do it in a powder. I haven't put any of it on today. So let's do that. So I just take a little compact little highlight brush and I just stay on the tops of my cheek. It kind of just gives you a little glow without being like in your face, metallic. So I feel like anybody can wear this for any occasion. And I also like to do a little tip of my nose. So it's a good way to do that too with highlight. It's not blinding, like a light bulb on the end of your nose. So yeah, I always have that, and it lasts forever too. These powders and baked powders they last a really long time. Okay, we just have a few more things to go through, and it's lips and then brows. So my favorite lip liner of all time, hands down, is Half Red by MAC. It's what I have on my lips today. My lips look a little chapped at the moment, so we'll put something on in a second. But I've worn this, I think, since I got out of high school. And I think this is the one I've had for that long too. They just last forever, the pencil ones from MAC. And they last on your lips a long time. They're not super creamy, but they're long wearing. But this color always reminded me of when you have chapped lips. And I've always loved that color of chapped lips. And I use it all over the lip, and I kind of just like mat it out a bit. It just lasts all day. I just love it, and I think it's the best kind of like neutral reddish color. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because it's not a nude, it's not a red, it's half red. Okay. All right, Rebecca. Oh, and my next lip liner is going to be the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut. This is more like a neutral everyday. I can pop this on with chapstick. I'm just like running out. It doesn't look like I did like a whole lip. You can wear it as a base for like any color. So it's also good to just line your lips with it to keep your whatever you're wearing from bleeding, which is really good, or to overline your lips. People like to do that. I'm not a big fan of that just because my lips are pretty big already. But it's just, I always have to have it, and it's just goes with everything. I really like it, and again, it's a pencil liner, so they last forever, and they last a long time on the lips. My absolute favorite lip stain, which I love lip stains. I always start my lips with a lip stain, because I also, when I'm like doing my makeup and I have pale lips, it's hard for me, like, I don't know, I just have to have some color on it. So this is the Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tint. And I'm not sure what color it is because it fell off. So I think it might be Cherie. I'll find it, I'll link it, or whatever. But they're just so good. And again, this color has that same color as the Half Red does, where it kind of looks like your lips are chapped. That color, your lips don't look chapped, that's the color. I just love it. And it's moisturizing too, as you can kind of see my lips went from kind of gross a little shiny. But I have 3 colors of these. I think I have every color, so I have to figure out which one this is because I think the stickers fell off of all of them, which is kind of annoying because it's expensive. But I'll still repurchase and repurchase and repurchase. Okay, a couple more things to go through. So for my brows, it's always really hard for me to find things that I like just because of the color of my brows. They're red, as you can see. They're a little lighter than my hair color, so I don't like to go too dark because it looks heavy on me. At least that's what I think. But Glossier, their Brow Flick and their Brow Boy have worked for me when it comes to color. And so I always have these if I want to add color. And I don't always want to add color, and sometimes because I have a good amount of brows and I'm growing them out. As you can see, they're a little nasty. But if I want to add color, these are what I use. So the Brow Flick, there's definitely a learning curve. And I just do little strokes. And I don't do a lot, and I don't really do it in the front part of my brow because then it looks really heavy, but I like the tails. They can look a little sharper. See how that just kind of sharpened the edge and it still matches my brow color. This one's fairly new though. I got it a couple weeks ago when I was there. So it's a little dark. So I have to be a little, when it dries out a bit, it's better for me. And then the Brow Boy. I'm sorry, Boy Brow. My mom did that when we were in Glossier and she kept on telling the woman, and my sister and I were like, no, that's not what it's called. And look at me now, I'm doing the same thing. But I have Blond, and I usually just start at the heaviest parts of my brows, go down a little arch, because I like them to look a little arched. And again, I'm blowing them out so there's like a little bit of weirdness. But it's okay. And it's just a perfect color. So for redheads, if you're looking for something that doesn't look too red, too brown, or ashy, these, both Blond, Brow Flick, and Boy Brow. Oh, these are perfect. Okay, last product for now, for today, for this video, is the Mercier Translucent Powder. I mean, we all know about it, we love it, it's amazing, I have to have it. It just finishes up everything, especially now that we're using cream products. Sometimes, no matter how creamy they are, no matter how much you blend, you can sometimes see a little skipping or just like the difference between where your foundation is and where your blush is, whatever. You use this, it's like magic. All of a sudden everything is super smooth and even, and then you can always add a little bit more glow after. Like I sometimes will take some like liquid highlighter after, which is this is not part of my all-time favorites because I just got this, but this Skin Dew, and I place a little bit of my upper cheeks and it still blends perfectly over this. This is magic. So everyone, your arsenal needs these products because they fix everything, they're easy, they're beautiful no matter what. You don't have to think, and sometimes we don't have time to think. We sometimes don't have time to sit and do our makeup luxuriously like we would like to. Or we're just, you know, running to work and we just want to feel finished. These are very, what's the word? They're reliable. Always. I know they're going to work good. I know they're going to look good. I always have to have them, and add anything to them and it just enhances. So I will always have them, no matter what. They're in my kit forever. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me rant about products and say a million times and try to figure out how to articulate. So for my second video ever, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope there's some things that you learned or products you want to try, or you're like, oh my god, that is the best product ever. Rebecca is so smart, so right, so talented. But thank you again. Have a great day. Have a great holiday. And I'll see you in my next video.